So how did you feel like that? Do you feel like that one little moment like really built our like helped our relationship?
I feel like at that point, when we were going up, I was ready to give up like everything.
3, 2, 1, and we're live. Oh wait, I'm gonna do that again. That's terrible. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on another episode of Jesus, your host, George Mora. And today we are in the Poconos Mountains. All right, this is the first time I've ever been in the Poconos, in the mountain range, hiking, doing all sorts of physical activity like slingshotting. And you know what? We're going to get into it. But first, I wanted to really do this whole podcast out, out in an Airbnb, going anywhere, traveling, and being able to still give content, still create content. So today I'm accompanied with my beautiful, amazing Russian, Eastern European housewife, gorgeous.
Housewife is not a compliment.
Yo, don't kill it. I'm giving you a great intro. How is housewife not a compliment?
Take the
housewife is the highest of highest compliments. All right, Maria?
No.
All right, baby girl.
Means that I sit at home and do nothing.
You're literally the example of that right now as you were sitting down.
But I don't sit home and do nothing.
But wait. Housewives don't sit around and don't do nothing. Housewives literally do things in the house that need to get done, right? Like cook, clean, and then the man takes out the garbage, right? Like the woman is practically the king of the house in a sense.
Yeah, but you still do something besides that, and when you get back home, you still do this. So doing just cleaning and cooking is doing nothing because you don't do anything else besides that. You're literally all day home fucking.
But you do more than that.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Housewife.
All right, but housewife is like it's like one of the top things that women can do, I think.
No, the housewife is a degradation of a woman because you don't do anything else. You don't like educate yourself.
Right. Okay, if you're just a housewife, I agree. All right, then that might be degrading. Like you should, if I say, babe, you should strive to only be a housewife, then that's degrading. You know what I'm saying? But if I say, babe, one of your greatest attributes is being a housewife, and then you have other accolades, which is like,
but if you
creating
do
content,
things,
working.
you're not a housewife because you.
Wait, what? Repeat that.
So if you do other things as well besides being in the house, you're not a housewife because you don't spend all your day in the house. You're only a housewife if you're literally every day in the house doing like cleaning and cooking.
Okay, you know what, mate? You're starting to make sense. I think you're right.
So if you do something else, that's not a housewife already.
You want to go?
That's why.
This is how we settle all disputes. We just go straight to Google. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
You're gonna Google it? Okay, Google it. All right, this time you Google. This time you have the power. All right.
Because that's about housewife.
That's about housewife. All right. So also, why I really wanted to start this podcast while you're Googling this is because I think these little getaways that we're doing, like with the Airbnbs, like going on traveling, they're really like building up like our relationship. But I feel like it's like taking it to like almost like a next level of like travel, like because you want to travel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You enjoy traveling, you enjoy going out. I'm cool with being at home where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? I've created my lifestyle. I'm chilling.
Husband?
I'm a house husband, bro. I'm a house hubby, bro. For real, I really am, bro. I'm at home. I'm always working, and then I have my own little sector, my own little part of New York City that I'm just known at, and I'm just like comfortable and cuddly in. But I'm always grinding. I'm always hustling. I have my routine. I'm like trying to always be productive and shit like that. So like, yeah, traveling and trying to still kind of work and be productive is hard. But I feel like you enjoy that lifestyle. I enjoy the traveling aspect. The part that I hate about vacations is that I hate not working. You know what I'm saying? I hate not being able to be productive. I hate like taking days off. It irks me. You know what I'm saying? I love this. I love doing the podcast, but it does still feel like work because I still put a lot of effort into it.
Exactly. And you still, even though we were here, you were still in your computer making videos and podcasts and everything. So you're still working, but you're just working in different environment.
Exactly.
So it's not like you're slacking. You can't say that.
No, I know. What I'm saying is that when I go on vacations and I'm not doing those things, I'm definitely
But you're never
slacking.
not doing those things, babe. When you go on vacations, you still do them.
But that's what I'm saying. Now, recently, right? When we went on the last trip, right?
Yeah.
We did a podcast, right? And now we're on a new trip, and we're doing a podcast, right? And like we got checkout time in like literally like right now,
36 minutes ago. What you mean?
but we're dragging it.
Don't let Wilmer and Erica watch this.
But I just think it's great that we're able to get out the house, go to a new environment, and still work, still be productive. Because you're making your content, your videos, your reels, you're doing new things too. So like when people look at like couples on Instagram and they're like, yo, how are they able? Because I'm always looking at that. You're always looking at couples on Instagram that are like traveling and like making these crazy videos and shit. And I'm like, yo, how the fuck do you even have the time? How do you pay for it? How do you go around that? And the truth is that with like this content, with this podcast, I'm trying to just live my life, and I'm just trying to surround myself with the work. You get what I'm saying? So that I'm able to do it anywhere from any location.
That's the benefit of not having a 9-to-5 job, because you literally can do your job from anywhere you want to do it.
Exactly. And the thing is that I've been so like, I'd say I've created my own little cocoon in like New York, like in my place, where it's like everything is there for me. Like my camera set up, everything is there. So I literally just press play and everything's being recorded, and then I'm just working. I have my routine and shit. But then breaking that routine, I think it's important, because if not, I get so like stressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I start to pile up all this tension, and it kind of just needs to be released.
But at the end of the day, you still like it.
Yeah, I
like you feel
like
uncomfortable at first because you're like, damn, like I have to go somewhere, you know. But then when you actually do it, you enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah, once I hit record, I'm already like enjoying it. I enjoy the conversations. I enjoy the flow, where the conversation's going. So I just think that life-work balance is very important for your psychology. But when you're first starting, you just have to grind. You have to grind. And then you have to basically
be patient.
Be patient. Yeah. I think that's great. That's like Gary Vee says. Patience. Patience, bro. Patience.
Okay. Let me read the housewife thing.
All right. Read your housewife thing.
Okay. So it's a woman whose main occupation is caring for her family. You see, the main occupation is caring for her family, managing the household affairs, and doing housework while her husband or partner goes out to work. So I'm not a housewife, because that's my main occupation is not caring for a household.
Okay, fuck, you're not a housewife yet. All right, future housewife.
Shut up. House hubby.
But all right, so look, what have we learned in this vacation? All right, because I mean, what have we even done today? Like we honestly we've only been on vacation for like 3 days, because after the third day, I'm already like super anxious to get back to New York. But I decided to...
technically the fourth day, let's say. Because we left on Friday. Today's Monday, so it's a fourth day.
Okay, so it's the fourth day. So I'm kind of happy that we're going back to New York. Even though I enjoyed every moment that we've been here.
But you were the one to say, oh, no, let's stay for another extra night, though.
Yeah, no. I wanted to stay an extra night. Because one, I wanted to like relax. I feel like when you do the 3-day trip, right? It really just feels like 2 days in the house.
Yeah.
Because you have to be out super early. Mm-hmm. And I hate that shit about Airbnbs. Is like you have to check in at 4 p.m. or like 5 p.m. and then you check out at like 10, 11 a.m. And I'm like, bro, like...
It's the same with the hotels, and it's mad annoying, because before it was different. Like I remember when I was going on a trips with my parents, when I was like 12, 13, the check-in was at 11 a.m. and then check-out was at 4 p.m. So it was the opposite way. But then I guess they switched it because more people started traveling, and there is no way for them to like keep the room till 4 p.m.
Yeah, no, I understand that. My thing is that I feel like it's a 2-day trip, not really like a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
If I don't have that extra like afternoon,
honestly,
to like chill in the crib.
I usually count those days that are full days. Like the day that you come in and the day that you leave, I don't count them, because you're literally not able to do anything besides like packing your bags and getting the fuck out.
Exactly.
or getting the fuck in. You know what I mean? So like we technically only had Saturday and Sunday, and then like Friday, Monday is like half days.
Exactly, and then you can't stay up. So it's like ridiculous. You can't stay up like till like 1 or 2 a.m. because you got to wake up early in the morning the next day. So that's why that's why I decided to stay an extra night. But I really wanted to get to the activities that we got done, because we got a lot of things done this trip. Honestly, right? What was one of the first things we did? Remind me.
So the first one, we went on a kayak.
Oh, we went kayaking.
Yes, we went
here
kayaking
down the river.
The Delaware River.
In the Delaware River, like in between Jersey and Delaware, right?
Jersey and Pennsylvania. Between Jersey and Pennsylvania, there is a Delaware River.
Okay. Okay, sure. Geographics.
Maybe doesn't make sense, but it does.
Sure. So what was your experience like kayaking? Like, we've been kayaking before.
We've been kayaking before, and I've been rafting before, and I think it's amazing. I really love it. It's hard because like your arms have to do a lot of work, but it's worth it because you get to see a lot of things, and you're actually on the water, and like you have to not drive the car, but freaking drive the boat type of thing.
I enjoyed how we were able to like stop by these little islands, right? And what made this kayak experience so unique was that when we went in, they attended us and they asked us like, yo, like, this is the route that you can take. You can take A to B, B to C, or A all the way to C. It's going to last this long. And between A and B, there's like little streams and currents, right, that you can go through. And then they tell us you can stop in these little islands and shit like that. Like, they really made us like feel like this is a mission
type of thing.
Yeah, they made us feel like this is a trail. Like, right, they explained everything to us. The other kayaks we did is pretty much just like, yo, here's the fucking boat.
Here's the lake, which is steady, so just make sure you come back in an hour. So it's basically stupid because you have to go there and then you have to come back through the same thing, which I really liked here, the fact that we didn't have to go back. So like you just go one way and then they pick you up. So like you don't have to like be, oh shit, now I have to do this whole thing back again. You're already like exhausted. And
they were also upselling the idea. The craziest part about this trip was when we were doing the kayaking thing, the lady was selling us like, yo, you could literally get out at these points and just jump in the water and swim and relax. Just make sure you have your life vest on. And we're going. We're all wearing swimsuits. We're excited. We put on sunscreen. We're like, yo, we're gonna jump in the water. We're gonna swim. We're gonna kayak. It's gonna be fun as hell, right? It's, mind you, it's like fucking 65, 70 degrees outside.
It was more. It was like 85 that day.
All right, sorry. It's 85 degrees that day, right? We're going outside and we're taking the truck. They're driving us to a location. The lady stays behind, and then the guy in the truck is basically telling us like, oh, we're like, yo, we can't wait to swim. What do you think about the swimming? He was like, guess what, guys? He's like, you can't swim in that water. He's like, you can choose to jump in that water, but it is so cold that you will get hypothermia in like 5 minutes if you jump in that water. So he's like beware and do you. I'm like, bro, like, I don't, like, at this point, I'm like, damn, I really want to go in the water. Am I going to risk hypothermia to jump in the water? And we get there. We're even trying to just get off the island because we're like, yo, the water's too cold. We're not going to get in the water. We carry our phones with us. And, you know, when you jump in the water and you jump out the water, you're going to get water in the boat. So we were definitely not trying to jump out the boat into the water. But we were trying to get to the island at the very least. And as we're getting to this like little island, right, we're going downstream. And then we realize we're like, yo, wait. We're missing the trajectory. And then boom, the island's right here. And we're going. And it's going down. And we're trying so hard to paddle up this way. And the stream is hitting us mad hard, and we're just going down, and then we don't fucking make it,
The
bro.
river was too fast for us to make it. We realized it too late. Like we should have done it before. Like choose the direction.
Yeah, because there was a whole little family there, and I'm like, no, babe, paddle, you fucking paddle.
You're like, paddle, bitch.
All right, so yeah, so kayaking was really fun. I enjoyed the shit out of kayaking. Then we went hiking.
I don't know what kind of trail was it because like we just chose the random one.
Yeah.
Some of the Pocono mountains. It was like 3 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really great. I mean,
it was really great. Yeah, right.
I cried. But
you cried. You complained. Yo, One of the craziest things about going on a trip with a couple is like the fighting, bro. Like, I don't know how many of y'all actually fight while you're going on a trip, but we fought a lot this trip for like 3 days. But I think it's great because I think like one of the things that build relationships is like the fights and how you get through the fights and how you're still able to have fun at the end of the day.
The funniest part is, remember how we never used to fight before? Like, we didn't have fights, but then I realized it's because we're not doing things. And now when we start doing things, the shit comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also, like, we're more comfortable with each other, right? So, like, sometimes there's, like, a little tension built up because we don't want to annoy the shit out of each other too much. So, while we were climbing up the mountain, like, what the fucking thing about me is that when I start something, I really need to finish it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what it is, I kind of feel like
you have to think about it in advance. The thing that happened is that you don't go on a trial of 3 miles at 7 p.m. when the sunset is in 1 hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. You know you're not going to be able to make it. So when we went there, I thought...
So why did we even start?
Because I thought we're just going to get to, like, one of the middle points, take pictures there, and then go down. I didn't know you wanted to do the whole fucking thing.
Nah,
because I knew it's gonna be too dark.
I mean, my
you
thing.
never communicated it.
Yeah, we never. I
never communicated it either.
Exactly. I mean, I was under the impression that we're gonna make it to the top. That being said, I was aware of the time restraint, so I was like, either we have to hike faster, or we just kind of cut our losses and kind of go back. My thing was that when we were mid through the trial, right, we were going up and we were mid hiking. Like, you were so exhausted. I was honestly exhausted too, but I really wanted to finish. And there's always people coming down off the trail when you're hiking. I love that about hiking, bro, because you could always ask people, like, yo, how far till the next peak? So we were asking them. They're like, it's like another 20 more miles. And every single person was like, yo, 20 more minutes. Sorry, 20 more miles. 20 more minutes. And every single person that we came across was telling me, like, yo, just stick through it. The view is worth it. Just stick through it. Even though I knew it was going to sunset in like 45, 50 minutes. And I'm like, we have 20 minutes to get up there. And then we have like an hour and a half to get down. So I was like, we stopped and we had like a little fight or whatever, right? Like, you were like,
yeah.
Well, you were exhausted and you were like, yo, babe, like you were trying to tell me calmly, like, let's go back down.
So like, I wasn't exhausted at that point. I got exhausted later on. But at that point, I was trying to tell you, as you're saying, like, I was complaining. I wasn't complaining. I was just like aware of the fact that it's going to get dark. And it was just scary to go down the mountain through the rocks in a darkness.
Yeah.
It's risky. And, I didn't want to, like, none of us get injured or something like that. I was like, that's not going to be fun at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, knowing myself, I always get injured, like, everywhere. I'm, like, the first person to get injured. So I was like, motherfucker, I'm definitely going to get some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to fall or, like, twist my knee again or something. And that's why I was, like, scared. Because I was like, what if it's going to be that dark and, like, we get lost? A bunch of things.
Yeah, no, I understood that. I mean, you were telling... I don't think you were complaining. I think you were telling it to me calmly. I just think that I was like, damn, bro, we're so close. I was definitely stubborn. I knew in my head I was like being stubborn. That's why I was like, let's go back. And then you were like, nah, fuck it, let's push forward. And like that dynamic really kind of helped because we both just kept pushing forward. And then you got really exhausted.
And then I was that exhausted. I thought I'm gonna have a heart attack. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, I was so tired.
Let's mention the fact that we did not have no fucking water.
Oh yeah. Last time we went hiking, we brought like jugs of water, like huge jugs of water.
And wines.
And we had wine. We had a bunch of shit. And we were smoking. I don't even know how we made the first climb. And the first climb was way harder, but this second climb out here in the Pocono Mountains, right? We only had a bottle of water and half a bottle of water.
The one that is like what, 2 ounce, like 4 ounce.
What doesn't matter. We had half a fucking bottle of water, and we were just literally just sipping it on the way up. And you didn't have boots or anything. You literally had booty shorts.
Booty shorts. The jeans were mad uncomfortable, and sneakers
and long ass nails.
And long ass nails.
Show nails. Show the camera.
Show my nails. Exactly. And the funniest part also is that it was 85 fucking degrees outside, mad humid. Mm-hmm. Like, you already hot from it.
Mm-hmm. You were hot. You were stressed out. You were like, fuck, I don't know if we're gonna make it down before the sunset because it's gonna be really dark. I have nails on. I'm not trying to climb down shit and break a nail. I'm exhausted. I have no water, right? And in my head, I'm like, yo, this is so stressful. This is so fucking hard to do right now. And we're like arguing and like we have like tension and shit. And we put ourselves in like the hardest position and we were still able to make it up there and push through all that. And I swear to God, like when we got up there, like I felt like everything kind of melted away a little bit.
The view was worth it. I just wish, like, the only thing I'm sad about is that we didn't have enough time to spend over there and like literally just sit down.
Yeah, because we
had to go down right away. It was literally sunset. You can like maybe show the videos on the screen for the podcast.
Yeah,
that I took of you, and there is literally a sunset.
Yeah, we got to the top on the sunset and we had like literally like we had like 3 minutes.
3 minutes and then we're like
we have to run down because we saw the sunset.
Yeah, because we were on the top at 8 and the sunset was exactly at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and we have an hour and a half to go down. And we made it in 1 hour. We made it out from the woods at 9 o'clock but then by the last 15-20 minutes it was so fucking dark I couldn't see shit.
Mm-hmm.
We had to turn on our flashlights, both of us, and I was so thirsty. I thought I'm gonna faint. I literally told you, babe, I was like, babe, I'm about to faint right now. It's crazy.
So how did you feel like that? Do you feel like that one little moment like really built helped our relationship?
I feel like at that point, when we were going up, I was ready to give up like everything on myself. I was like, I'm just gonna die. Like this, I hate cardio. You know that. I hate cardio. I try to push myself in the gym, but like that cardio is like the hardest thing because it's hard and like you have to keep going up and stuff like that. But then like when we got down to the car, those endorphins that you get endorphins, I'm sorry, after like you work out and stuff like that, it's just crazy because you're like, damn, I achieved something that I thought I would never achieve. And especially physically and especially like through the relationship as well, like we still didn't break up.
That's what I was gonna say. Like imagine, like I feel like because we went through something that was really not even just like, it was not like an emotional argument. It was more like a physical thing, right? We were going through like a lot of physical roughness, physical stress put on ourselves.
And your stubbornness.
And my stubbornness, yeah, that definitely aided to it. But like I said, like I just really like finishing things, and the fact that we finished things, I feel like it just made us a lot stronger. And not only just did it make us stronger, it made us a lot more grateful for like being able to get through it. And also grateful for just water. Because we had like no water on the way down.
And then the funniest part, we were like, drive to the first gas station. And the first gas station was like 15-20 minutes away. And then we literally ran in. We bought all the fucking
I felt
water,
like I was
sodas,
gonna faint.
Gatorade.
I felt like I was gonna faint. All right. So after the whole hiking thing, I think that really did build our relationship up a lot more.
Particular trail is not that hard for people to do if you don't do kayaking in the morning.
Yeah. Because we did the kayaking, then we went immediately straight to the trail. Then after that, we came home. We readied up, and then we went to the casinos. Right? We slept.
That was the longest day of my life.
Right? No, actually, we got home. I went outside. I created a fire in the fire
We
pit.
also created a fire in the morning.
Yeah.
Outside, and then we created a fire when we got home as well. And we cooked twice outside, which is hard as hell. It's not like cooking on a pad. You know?
Yeah. Which is amazing. Like I said, like I feel like I like these trips because I like to be more in touch with nature, right? So now being out here, like I feel like we're not close to the city. We're not close to anybody. Anybody could come kill us or whatever. And my like instincts of like awareness and security are like a lot more heightened and alert. Like I'm making sure that every door is closed, nobody can get in at night and all that shit. When it's dark, there's like lights, and then trying to create a fire too, like out of little resources. Like I try to really just use natural resources. And obviously I just had a lighter. Like I had to use a lighter. I didn't use any gas or none of that shit to create the fire. I wanted to do it naturally because I wanted to test myself. So I was able to do it. And the thing with, I really do feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like men in general, like we like to look at things, pick them up and try to put them together and try to make something work out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like building that fire really gave me that sense of like, holy shit, like not even just being productive, but like more productive with nature. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
It's so different because when you live in New York and everything is done for you, literally like everything.
Yeah, like you turn on the stove,
Yeah.
boom, fire. You know what I'm
This is your
saying?
food ready. Like you can
Yeah.
go and buy everything. You don't have to do nothing at all. And here, when you have to create something with your hands, it's just like amazing. Like you feel more
Mhm.
like surrounded.
Do
by
you
the
feel like
nature.
women should have a man that's able to like start fires and create
I
fires? Like,
think women should know how to create fire themselves. And I feel like I am able to do that. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like I think we both did it
But
together.
what if you knew how to create a fire, but your man didn't know how to create a fire?
That sucks. It's like earning more than your man does.
Earning more. That's a great conversation. That's a great conversation. So like if you earn more than me, like how would you
Then
feel?
why the fuck do I need you?
Holy shit. So I always need to earn
So
more than
like
you?
I cook, I clean, I give birth to kids, and I earn more money. What the hell are you doing? And I come with my toys too, type of thing, you know, like I can go get any dick I want.
Mm-hmm.
So what value do you provide to me? Just like by loving me and everything? That's cute. That's nice. Like you give me comfort, like you cuddle me, you made me feel like, oh, you know,
But
I'm
then I'm like your
beautiful.
bitch.
But then, yeah, exactly. You like if I have power, that means I'm a dominant, and I'm naturally, since I'm straight, I'm naturally more of like being submissive to a
Mm-hmm.
man because I
Yeah.
want men to be like more powerful than I am. And like if I do everything and you don't even fucking bring money and don't give me things to buy,
So what do you feel like a man needs to provide in a relationship besides money? Because
financial
we said money, so
stability.
he definitely needs to make more than you.
Yes, financial
Okay.
stability. Then he has to make his girl feel like she's protected. Like if something
Security.
yeah, security. If
Okay.
something happens, he's there for her.
Okay. And then what are some examples that he can display to show you security? Because obviously he's not gonna go beat people up in front of you just to show
Yeah,
you
no,
you're
no.
secure.
But like if some situations happens, he's
Mhm.
always there for you.
So like, and that was my point. Like building a fire, essentially, like being able to do that on the fly, like being resourceful
that's more
outside.
of like
It's
man.
it's not it's not that important towards a relationship. My point is
Yeah.
like the ability to be able to do that, right? When it's necessary. Like for example, we're going out, we're camping, right? I take it on myself to go out and make a fire and then cook for us essentially on that fire, which is a different experience too, like just doing that and instead of like being at home cooking on a stove or whatever. And then you seeing how I'm doing everything, I feel like you gain a little more respect for me.
Yes, I do. But you know what's the problem? That women who are born in America have a little different mentality. Because I was born in a family where my dad was literally like doing everything himself. He never hired anybody to help him out. He builds houses from zero himself, repairs everything himself, and stuff like that. So I never saw him like learning type of thing. Like I knew he learned it at some point, but when I was there, he already like knew how to do things. So in my head, at first, I was like, every single man should know how to do that. Like if in my head, I'm like, if man doesn't know how to build a house from zero himself, what kind of man are you? But then I go out there to meet men, you know, and I'm
You
like,
go to
okay,
America to meet, man.
yeah,
Okay.
go to America, and I'm like, wait, hold on, this is not like everybody can do it. And then I start, first of all, I start appreciating my dad more because I'm like, oh my god, he could do things that not every single person could do, like barely like 5% of people could actually do.
Like I honestly think like 90% of fucking guys out here they can't not
They
do any
can't
of
do
that shit.
shit.
Not even that they can't, is that they lack the ambition
Exactly.
to go do any of
And
that.
then like my stereotype of the feeling that man born knowing how to do this thing breaks. It's like then I start thinking of myself. I'm like, okay, not every woman can cook. Like in my head, women always have to know how to cook. If you don't know how to cook, you're a shitty fucking wife. You shouldn't be a wife at all in general.
Yeah, like I appreciate the fact that you're a fucking incredible,
you know what I mean?
amazing
And then
cook.
I'm like, okay, so I cook and I provide like a comfort in a household, and then men obviously for me have to know how to do everything in the house. Like if I tell you, oh, put this painting on the wall, you should know how to put this painting on the wall. Or I'm like, this tap is leaking, can you fix it? You go and fix it. You know what I mean?
So you feel like a man should earn more than you. You feel like a man should be able to build things and fix things around the house. You feel like he
Yes.
should be able to make you feel security, right? Protected. and what's something else? And
And I
then and then
think,
obviously the comfort, the communication, all these things are
yeah,
important. But
I would say, oh, put all this into more of like sexual thing, like comfort, communication, and you have to feel like a sexual tension between you both,
yeah,
you know? Like, and I also here would include not only that your man looks good and like you want him, but like him also like compliment you, you know, like the issue that we had, like the fight that we had, that I was like, oh, I feel a lack of compliments, and then
oh,
you
like
actually
kind of like
were
flirting,
like flirting, yes,
like
but like
flirting.
it's
Yeah,
also my thing. I have to flirt with you, you have to flirt with me. It's like a relationship, because if we're gonna stop doing it in like 2-3 years of our relationship,
we're gonna be
just
like stale
like
ass.
brother and his sister living together, you know.
Do your parents flirt with each other
I think
in front of you?
the point is that they don't do it in front of me, because in Russia there's such a thing that you can like kiss each other, and I think it's really bad, because I think kids should know that their parents love each other, even if they want to like kiss in front of you. Obviously they're not gonna have sex in front of you,
Yeah.
but if dad wants to compliment her or like kiss her, or like the opposite way, they should do it, because in my family they always were kind of like afraid to like kiss each other in front of me, or like compliment or like flirt with each other in front of me, because they thought it was awkward, because that's how they were taught by their parents. Because in USSR, where like my parents and their parents were born, sex topic was kind of like prohibited, so it all comes from there, that like you should like they
So if we were to have kids, we should openly talk about sexual things
yes,
in front of them.
absolutely, yes.
Not obviously not too graphic, but we should be able to be flirtatious in front of each other. Like, you
Yes.
know, kiss each other in front of them. Like, you know, compliment each other.
Your way of showing that you love each other, and
Exactly.
they're gonna know it, and they're gonna learn it from you, and they're not gonna be going and afraid to like show and tell other people how they feel, if they feel serious about them. You know what I mean? I think it's important.
Okay, so that for sure, like, what is that? I think that's called intimacy,
Yeah.
right? Intimacy, yeah, like that. I wouldn't say we lacked that entirely, but I would say like there was like a little bit, like we were getting a little stale with it, right? At a certain point, and then like we just needed to communicate it, and that's where like compliance comes in. Like for me, I think like a woman needs to be compliant. She needs to be able to communicate things that I'm not aware of because I'm so focused on other things. I'm not always focused on you. I'm not always focused on my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make time to focus on you, and I
that's
make time to
healthy.
do
That's
things.
normal. You shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you were to tell me like, no, you should be thinking about me. You should be the first thing on your mind. Like, bro, you're erotic. You're like you're like erratic. You're crazy. Like I'm not fucking with you at all.
Yeah, the only thing that we've talked and communicated is very important. And like when you, for example, like, or noticing that I look good, and you just noticing for yourself, just let me know about it. And
What do you
that's all,
think some women in America can do to get more men? Like there's a lot of women in America that want to be able to have a husband or want to be in a relationship. What are they lacking? What do you see that they are lacking a lot of?
A lot of women, I think, want to be dependent on a man. And that is the problem, because
A lot of women in America want to be dependent on a man.
Yeah.
Dependent how? Like financially?
Yes, financially. They just want to be like, oh, I look pretty, so you go make money and buy me stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what they get. They get men who treat them like shit, but give them money. Because I feel like men cannot respect a woman who is not growing mentally, like educating herself every day, creating something every day. Like the woman who doesn't have any goals besides being in the house and getting her nails done. You know what I mean? So like if man wants to respect if woman wants to be respected by a man and get a great man, she shouldn't be thinking, oh, I'm going to depend on him. She should be first of all thinking of herself, how to make herself better, and then naturally she's going to surround herself with a better man.
That's great. You know what's beautiful about what you just said is that literally applies to both. Like that applies to women and men. You know what I'm saying? Like men should do the same thing. Men should focus on themselves and then on their partner, right? So that's great. That's a green flag right there. What do you think? Because in my view, you said that women can be too dependent on a man, and I agree. I think there are some women that are very dependent, but in America, I think a lot of guys feel, especially right now with this whole red pill community and everything, that women are too independent. You know what I'm saying? They're too empowering. How do you feel about that in that perspective? What do you think about women that are too independent?
This is the very interesting thing, because here is the man's decision if he wants to make his woman too independent or no. Like in your head, you know, as a man, your bitch can afford this. She can pay for like this, and that. She can go her own. But then you as a man show your power by being like, I got you, baby. I'll pay for it. And then she's like, okay, this is my daddy type of thing. Like, it sounds stupid from me the way I say it right now, but you get the point. Like, you know, she can do it, and that's why you're proud of her.
That's a perfect example of, I'm not trying to control her. I'm trying to take control of situations.
Yes.
Because it's like, yeah, I know you can afford that Louis bag, right? Or it doesn't have to be Louis bag. I know you can afford to get your nails done, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out of my way to do it for you because I care about you and because I'm gonna flex on you, bro. That's how I flex on you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
this is how you also, like, you know, show
impress
your power, impressing. Or for example, like, you know, that women can make decisions about like, okay, like we want to go on a vacation, and then a lot of men be like, okay, you choose everything, whatever.
Now, sorry, real quick. Do you think that women should earn this kind of respect, or do you think that a man should do it?
Absolutely. You should not do it for the woman who expects it from you all the time.
Okay.
If she doesn't want to spend her own money or make her own money to do that, then why would you do this for her? This is only works in a case of scenario if she's already successful, she's doing something, she's hustling, she's growing, and you see that she puts a lot of effort and she has this money to go and get her nails done. Then you'll be like, oh, let me do something special that she doesn't expect and help her out, type of thing. Like calling her this, help her out.
So that's how you're spontaneous. That's how a guy can be spontaneous.
Yeah. And you just should do it once in a while. But then, like, if she literally sits home, doesn't have any money, and asks you for nails, and this is completely different. This is when she's depending on you.
Okay, good. So that's I think that's a good example on how guys can be taken advantage of, right? And as opposed to a girl that should be treated well.
As well as, it's not just financially, it's also about making decisions. That's what I was trying to say. That, for example, like, even just an example, the trips, like, women can choose everything and do it. But then, like, imagine you once go and like you choose everything, you prepare everything, and you just be like, okay, get your bag ready, we're going somewhere. Like, this is you showing the power that, like, okay, women, because usually women.
So instead of a guy going to the girl, telling them, hey, babe, can you plan the trip? Can you do all this for us? And then essentially go on the trip. You think a guy should take initiative, plan the trip, and then take his girl with him?
Once in a while, yes, because we know that women tend to
be the ones that plan.
Create the plan, make this everything ready, like pack and stuff like this. And we should do this because we probably more organized than you are. No offense. But then once in a while, you could be like, okay, I set this date. Okay, I made a decision. We're going to go there. Okay, I made these like plans ready for you. And then women feels like, oh, wow, like I always been doing this, but kind of now I delegated it to him. And it feels good because it's some weight took off my shoulders. The same way as we talked about, like, even washing the dishes, when like the women cook, the man gets the dishes. It's a teamwork about like some house job as well. You shouldn't be expecting me doing all the housework all the time. Yeah, I'm not a cleaning lady. I'm not a laundry bitch.
No, you're not. I mean, you're a human being. I think, and that's the thing is that, like, what I have been seeing a lot in this Red Pill community, you know, with Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit podcast, you know, Kevin Samuels, is almost like, I don't know. I haven't watched enough. I don't know. Maybe what I see the message as being portrayed is that women should be like super submissive, almost kind of like a dog, where they should just listen to everything and then just kind of do like the planning, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of be like a housewife, right? But I think what you're saying is a lot more sensible and a lot more realistic, right? Because the truth is that a lot of women they say they want to be with a 1%er, right? But what you were saying before is that if you're going to be with a 1% guy, you have to be willing to be a bitch and super submissive and basically be able to do the dishes. And if that's not the lifestyle that you want, then you shouldn't be pursuing a 1% guy. You should be pursuing a guy who shows ambition, who shows confidence, who shows security, right? Who displays all these features, right? And they don't have to be 1%er. They can easily be in the fucking medium bracket, middle wage bracket, right? Like 50, 60K. Like you can still, your net worth doesn't necessarily make you not a high value man. You know what I'm saying? But if you are a high valued man, I see how if I'm making millions of dollars, right? And I'm literally my job is probably my life if I'm making millions of dollars, right? So I would want a girl who literally just makes me feel comfortable all the time when I'm around her. And that's not realistic either. Yeah. But as a 1%er, I have the money to be able to be like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, but you're gonna get bored.
And we'd get bored. And that's why the next thing would be for the 1% man, right? Like it would be I want to have multiple wives. I want to be able to be with multiple women. Because I'm gonna get bored.
Because this is the woman that you choose that you get bored. That's why you want more women. Because you don't have a woman that has her own like set of mentality and who could once in a while put you on your spot. Mm-hmm. Because if you choose a woman that is always like yes.
So what do you think about a man that has multiple women but has one main woman that's like the queen? And you ever heard of Genghis Khan?
No. Oh yes.
Like the ruler. Yeah. Like he slept with several women, right? I saw him on a show once, and he slept with several women, but his queen, that was his wife. She knew about all this. He didn't hide it from her or anything like that, right? She knew and understood his needs and catered to his needs, right? She even slept with the women like in front of him or would allow him to. Like it would be like a kink thing or an erotic thing or whatever, right? And he was the ruler. He was like ruling like the land. So like, what do you think about that kind of relationship?
I think if you want to have multiple women, you just have to have all of them at the same level. You can't just be like, okay,
you can't have one main woman.
You're the main woman, and then I'm just also gonna go and sleep with other ones. What the hell is that? Unless there is gonna be as well as this dependent, stupid ass bitch who just wants to have money and be like, okay, I don't care.
No, it's more
good, independent woman that is like worth of having. She's never gonna say yes to this.
Okay, hold on, listen. What if, like, for example, like me and you, right? We have a relationship, right? We like you're my main girl, right? The other girls, they're not doing all the other stuff, right? They're pretty much just there for fun and play. Like just for sex. No?
You go with them right away out.
So it's like, all right, so you want to have a threesome at some point, right?
I don't know yet. I never made this decision.
All right, but if we do ever have a threesome, right?
Okay.
That's essentially what it would be.
But that's what I have as well. That's also my decision that I want to do for one time and never maybe again.
Never maybe
experience things. Because I just want to experience things.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that you can have like some side cheeks. No, what the hell? Are you insane?
Okay, but my thing is why? Like that this I remember. I'm the scenario I'm painting is more for like high valued men, right? Who have like 1%, who have everything, who are really control freaks and really have a lot of power and like to flex it. And my point was Genghis Khan is one of these leaders, these rulers, right? This is something that a lot of people kind of portray off like kings. This is like a narrative that's portrayed off kings, that kings always have multiple women and they're the most powerful people, right? A lot of them have inherited it. So that being said, right, like, does that dynamic in a relationship actually work? Does that make a strong relationship?
But you said, for example, on our like experience in our relationship, I'm saying in our relationship it won't work because
what I'm comparing it from our relationship to their relationship would be like, hey, if we ever wanted to have a threesome, right? You're still my main girl, and then we're just using another girl for sex and play. The Genghis Khan relationship, right, is he has his main queen that does everything, and then all the other women he sleeps with, his wife is aware of because he's aware of his fantasies and all that.
You saying that we're gonna have a threesome, so we're both gonna participate in the sex because we both agreed to this.
Yeah.
And the difference is like, oh, when I'm staying in the kitchen cooking, you fucking some other bitch.
That's something. Yeah, that's something you wouldn't like.
I personally would, and maybe there is some women in this world who will, just because she's like, okay, I have the security, lots of money, I can do whatever I want and never work in this life.
No,
that's why I'm gonna close my
so
eyes
that
for
won't.
it.
What do you mean that? Okay, that woman has more security. Like she created it herself, or the man?
No, like the
She's living
man
under the
created
man.
the security for
Okay.
her.
Okay.
He did everything for her. He's like, here's my credit card. Go spend as much as you can, and you didn't have ever work in your life a day. And she's
Mhm.
like, okay, but then you have to close eyes on my other bitches. And she's like, okay, then maybe she will do it. But as
Mhm.
I'm saying, it's a dependent woman. The woman is dependent on the man.
Mhm.
She's born. She has nothing to do with that kind of women that I'm telling you about.
Mhm.
Like the girls that are trying to build themselves as well. So every day you are proud of her, she's proud of you, and you just guys keep growing together.
And you feel like in America, there's a lot more women that are trying to be dependent and
Yeah.
submissive instead of women that
A lot of Latina girls or a lot of Russian girls as well. They just
Mhm.
want to do that because technically this is the Russian state of family that what they teach you
Mhm.
when you're a kid, that woman has to stay home and cook
Mhm.
and the man has to bring the money. But
Because for me, what I'm seeing online a lot is there's a lot of like, just like there's dependent women, there's a lot of women, like I said, could be too independent, and there's women that are just kind of shitting down, looking down on men. Do you feel like, as a woman, do you feel like there's a lot of too much independent women out here? Like women that
No.
are so independent that
No.
they feel like they don't need a man at all.
I see that there is maybe 90% of the women
Dependent?
that want to be dependent on a man, and like 10% of girls that are actually ambitious.
That are too ambitious and feel like they don't need a man.
No, there is like maybe 2% that are actually super ambitious. They don't need a man, and then the
Oh
rest.
wow, 2%.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. No. This is your life. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because this is what like I see, like people
with the women
in
that you interact with.
industry.
Yeah, because you're a woman. You interact with other women. You know what I'm saying? You work in the restaurant, in the hospitality industry. So that's why I'm getting your feedback. Because the feedback that I get from specifically when I was going on dates a lot, right? I would get some women that are like either, I would get like both, bro. Honestly, I would get like a woman that's either too independent or a woman that's like too dependent. That's like not willing to do anything. And I think there's that beautiful center in between of a woman that like knows who she wants to be, knows the role she has to play in a relationship, and like is willing to put effort into those things, but is also willing to put effort into herself and grow as a person. Because if you put effort and you care about yourself and you want to grow as a person, you're willing to do that in a relationship. So I think that I think anything that guys can take from this podcast is really like, look for that. Like if you want a relationship, if you don't want a relationship, go for the dependent women. There's 80% of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go for the super submissive, easy to trick, easy to play women. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just trying to fuck. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're dogs out here. Like that's a fact. That's not a cap, right? Mm-hmm. So those women are gonna get played. But also, like we were saying, like when we compare these statistics to men, right? There's a lot of men that do you feel like how many men do you think are dominant out of all the men that you've encountered, and how many men do you think are too submissive?
In my opinion,
yeah, in your opinion, for your life experience,
it could be different. Like I think that this man is submissive, and he by himself he might think that he's a dominant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. What do you see?
I think it's kind of like 50-50.
50-50? Like
yeah.
There's 50% of men that are very submissive and 50% of men that are really dominant?
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty bad. Because it should be like 90% of dominant men and maybe like 10% of men who trying to be submissive. But nowadays, men just not trying to show their power the way they should be. They think that like, oh, having expensive cars and lots of bitches is me showing my power. But it's not. It's you showing your fucking stupidity.
This us showing stupidity? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I would never look at a man who's flexing on Instagram with a Bugatti and 3 bitches around.
Like Andrew Tate?
Oh my God, I hate this guy. I can't stand him. And like you showing me more and more video of this guy.
Bro, because like, that dude is all over the fucking page. So like, you know, I think
and that's all that it says about our society. The society.
These are things stupid. we look up at.
Yeah, because the society is stupid. All these bitches just want to be taken care of by a man like him, and all these guys just want to be like him, and that's dumb as hell.
Yeah, it is. No, it is dumb. I think that's a great point. it's dumb because being Andrew Tate is unrealistic. And I don't think guys should strive to be like Andrew Tate. I think that no, that's wrong. I think men should strive to be like Andrew Tate. I don't think men should have Andrew Tate's lifestyle or emulate his lifestyle. Okay. Now, what I mean by I think guys should strive to be like Andrew Tate is because he's well read. You know, he knows how to speak. He knows how to communicate clearly.
He's ambitious.
He's confident, so cocky, cocky and confident, right? He's financially stable.
Sometimes even a little too much.
And that's what and that's the point. Like that's what makes him a character, right? So it's like, but now that being said, you know, he knows his ideals, he knows his fundamentals, and the way he's structured and the way he thinks, right? The reason why he's able to say these things so strongly is because he has a lot of life experience, and he's actually put the things he says to test, and he doesn't just talk shit. He actually walks the walk, and he does it. And I don't think that us men should have the Bugatti. I don't think that us men should have the $10 million, right? Not all of us, man. It's just unrealistic. Like, you're going to always try to pursue something so meaningless, right? In reality, you should be pursuing something that's meaningful or fulfilling, right? But you should have a structure. You should have discipline, right? Like you said, you should still be able to be financially secure within your own means. You shouldn't have to strive to be like this man who is literally just a character in an image, because it's unrealistic. Not everybody can attain that. Mm-hmm. So, but why? And then why I said why I feel like men should be like him is because they should try to emulate these traits and apply it to their own lives, but not try to strive for his exact lifestyle. It's just not likely. I think that that's like almost like comparing yourself to other people, and it just never works out when you try to compare yourself to other people. But when you can learn from what other people are doing, that makes you a stronger man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to cut down Andrew Tate, right? I'm always like about like uplifting men or whatever. But I'm going to make criticisms. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be critical about him. Like, there are things that are a little suspicious about him. You know, you can't, I don't believe everything that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe that he believes everything that comes out of his mouth. It's exaggerated. It's a joke. He's a persona. He's an online persona.
For the online, yeah.
He's an online persona. So that's why when you say like, oh, I watch him, I hate him or whatever, I find that so funny because like I feel like eventually like people are gonna watch me and be like, yo, I fucking hate that guy, bro. He's making so much sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
like but like that's the point of social media, bro. Like that's why they get paid that kind of money. And like my thing is that I always try to get your view, your view, because you're in my immediate life. That's why I like to bring people on my podcast that are in my actual immediate life. This is me showing my personal experience, mm-hmm. and us sharing our real life, right? And then trying to have other people like learn from it. Essentially, be like, yo, these people are making actually a lot of sense. Like I could actually kind of see my life being that way as well. Because I think a lot of the people can obtain what I've obtained. I am not no fucking amazing. I'm a regular average Joe that is just, again, highly ambitious, financially, stable. Mm-hmm. And, I think I succeed in athleticism. I exceed in finance. I exceed in communication. I exceed in all these things. And I always want to continuously improve on these aspects in my life. And that's what makes me an alpha male or like a fucking strong ass man or like a house husband or whatever the fuck you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm leading because I lead my life first.